Hey guys, Roy here from Your Golf Travel. I don't know about you, but I think it's high time that we caught up with the Your Golf Travel Chief Holiday Officer, Lee Westwood, chat to him about what he's been up to for the last couple of months, what he's got coming up, and also, and slightly awkwardly maybe for European golfers, the Ryder Cup. Should we jump on call, Lee?
Right, good evening. Yeah, so I just had a hair in my mouth. Good evening, Lee. How's it going? It's been a while. We haven't chatted since you were up at the Scottish Open in July.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pretty good. Pleased with the way my season's gone. I've had a good season. Enjoying some downtime at the moment. Another couple of weeks. Although I've been working hard in the gym while I've been off. 2 more weeks, and then Houston. Sea Island, 2 weeks off, shark shootout. So 3 more, and then Christmas.
Yeah, I was going to say, so obviously since last time we spoke, you finished Scottish Open, you played the Open. You spent quite a lot of time in the USA this season in comparison with normal. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and more than I wanted to, really. The last few years I've played a lot more on the European Tour, but what with COVID and such, and getting top 50 in the world rankings again, I thought I'd join the PGA Tour for a season, and I spent a lot of time over there, more than I'd planned. But I had a good year over there. I finished 50th on the FedEx Cup, and I played a lot more tournaments. I played a lot more tournaments this year than I'd planned to.
Yeah, so obviously, like you say, you've got the restrictions COVID kind of placed on everyone, but it's kind of ironic that maybe you played more in America on the back of success on the European Tour the season previously. So you spent less time in Europe, or as a byproduct of being good the year before in Europe.
Yeah. The last few years I've enjoyed playing in Europe a lot more, but just with the circumstances, it was just easier to play the PGA Tour this year with COVID restrictions. They lifted theirs a lot sooner, and testing was a lot easier and things like that, and being able to play a string of tournaments in America, you weren't testing on the Monday or the Tuesday to get in, and then testing on the Sunday night to leave. It was an easier life to play over there a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay, so when I look at some of the golf courses you have played as a result of spending most of the season in the US, the list is pretty impressive. I mean, others might not have heard of, but really famous ones, including Kiawah Island, Sawgrass, Augusta, Harbour Town, Bay Hill, Torrey Pines, etc. Have there been any standout highlights in terms of courses that you've been able to play at events after your season in America? Yeah,
I mean, there's no doubt about it that I've played a lot of great golf courses this year. Regular tour events, major championships. Kiawah was fantastic. The FedEx Cup events in the one in New York. I always enjoy playing Liberty National. Caves Valley was nice as well. Can't remember where I played towards the beginning of the season. I feel like I played that much. Hilton Head, played a good bit in Texas as well. A couple of good golf courses in Fort Worth and Dallas. Colonial was enjoyable to play there. Having never played there before, I'd like to get back there again this year.
You played some of your best last year. You played some of your best stuff in Florida as well, I guess.
Yeah, Bay Hill and Sawgrass, where I've played quite a lot. The ones I was a little bit more familiar with, I seem to play better at. It was, with a lot of the golf courses this year, it was a bit of a learning experience for me. So, it wasn't surprising that I didn't play great at Colonial and a few other places. But looking at the season as a whole, I've maintained my world ranking position, and like I said, I finished 50th on the FedEx Cup list, and that's given me the opportunity to pick and choose where I want to play this year.
Excellent. And so you mentioned Cave Valley, was it? Were there any courses like that?
Cave Valley.
Was that the first time you played that course this year?
Yeah, it was. It was in Baltimore, just outside Baltimore. Hit quite a hilly course, but kind of a modern day American golf course, but it was enjoyable. It's the kind of place I'd like to go around in a cart with some friends.
Yeah. Okay. Which I think is like the classic American golf holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So speaking of American golf holidays, and I'm going to ban you from saying Augusta National because I do know it's your favourite course in the world, and we don't have access to us mere mortals. So if you were talking to your golf travel customers, what would be your top 3 golf destinations in the USA?
I had a week off actually, and I spent it in the Hamptons.
Mm-hmm.
I went up there and I played Friars Head, Sabonac, Nationals right next door to Sabonac, and Shinnecock's there as well. I think that's an incredible piece of land. West Hampton, Atlantic's out there. There's so many good golf courses on Long Island. It's unbelievable. Bethpage Black's there as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed that week and playing some golf up there. Florida's always a winner. I love Sawgrass, the players. Orlando with Bay Hill and Isleworth and Lake Nona and places like that. And then further down south you go around Palm Beach Gardens and Jupiter. There's so many good golf courses to choose from down there. Georgia's great. You go Hilton Head, Sea Island, places like that. You're spoilt for choice. So East Coast, the easy one with only a 5-hour time change, but I enjoy and I've played some of the best golf in California this year. The US Open was at Torrey Pines, which is one of my favorite golf courses in the world to play. A few hours north of there, you could play Riviera and some great LA Country Club. There's some great ones in LA, and then you go north of there, you get to San Francisco and Olympic, San Francisco Golf Club, Harding Park. Not far from there, obviously Pebble Beach, with all their great golf courses around there. So California's, if you can get on some of their golf courses, California's a great place for a golfing trip up and down that coastline.
And I know you got hitched in Vegas this year, but I presume you were banned from taking your clubs down there, were you?
Yeah, no golf in Vegas this year, unfortunately. But there are some great golf courses in Vegas.
And obviously, slightly sore point, but hopefully the dust has settled. You played the Ryder Cup over in Wisconsin this year in the States. It didn't go as planned for Team Europe, obviously, but now the dust has settled, what are your biggest takeaways from your week at Whistling Straits?
Well, I think the best team won on the week. They had a lot of great players, very strong team. If you look at the world rankings this year, all playing pretty well as well. So it was always going to be a tough ask. I thought Whistling Straits, set up well, maybe just favoured them a little bit, but it wasn't down to that. It's, as all Ryder Cups are, it's who plays the last hole the best and who makes the most putts. And over the course of the week, they just made a few more putts than us, I think. It wasn't like it was a landslide any particular match. There wasn't really any sort of 6 and 5s, 7 and 6s. All the matches were fairly close. It's just who hold that putt or chipped in every now and again, and that's often the difference.
Cool. And obviously, I don't really buy into any knee-jerk reactions to people trying to explain why the US managed to beat you by the score that they did. But it was interesting to see that the average age of each team was vastly different this year, with 26 for the American team and 35 for the Europeans. Do you read anything into that, or as you said just now, is it simply just a case of the fact that the guys that on their team played better?
Yeah, I don't read anything into that. I think in general as a whole, their team just played a little bit better.
Yeah,
I don't think you can put it down to age or anything like that. So we I think did all the prep right, and we were in the right place when we teed off on Friday morning. Like I say, just didn't make enough putts.
Yeah, and looking forward, obviously it's been an incredibly successful era really for the Europeans, with the likes of yourself, Justin Rose, Sergio, Henrik, Rory, Poulter, kind of forming a pretty decent backbone of lots of teams who've done really, really well for a long time. So I guess that's kind of what I'm not hinting at average age of, but do you think this American team could now enjoy a sustained period of success like the Europeans have, because they seem to have a very solid core, and then obviously they'll have form players coming in and out when it comes to World Cup picks and things like that?
Yeah, I think these things go in cycles. It always seems to be the way. There'll be a few of the older players move out the way on the European side, and they'll be replaced by some good younger players. We've got some good young players waiting in the wings. It's just a case of them standing up. Victor Hovland's already done it, but you'd be looking to the Højgaard twins to stand up, and maybe some people that missed out on this Ryder Cup that have played in ones previous, like Francesco Molinari. I know he's not one of the youngsters, but he's a world-class player that's obviously gone through a little bit of a slump, and starting to see some green shoots of a revival. So that's just how it is. And then you look into Tyrrell Hatton and Tommy Fleetwood to keep improving, cementing their places. So and Rory's always going to be around. We've got John Rahm, obviously the best player in the world. So yeah, it's very cyclical, and it's just the way it goes every now and again. You can't be on top all the time, and to be honest, if one team was, it'd get a bit boring.
That is very true.
And also, when you look at it at the end of the day, they've only won one. We won the previous one.
Yeah.
They won the previous one to that. When it was in the States, we won the previous one to that. It's going very much on home form, and how the golf courses are set up.
Okay, so speaking of home form, obviously the home team has an advantage because the crowds are going to be on their side much more so than the opposition. But especially this year, was it difficult or weird playing with virtually zero European support out there?
Yeah, it was very strange. When you go away from home, the crowd's going to be all for them, which you accept, and in a way you kind of like. But to not have any support really whatsoever, just the odd person here and there that actually lived in the States, it was really weird. There was no feedback if you hit a good shot. It was very one-way traffic.
So, well, obviously looking forward to being back in Europe then in 2023. Have you, for those who don't know, it's heading to Rome, and Marcus Simone Golf Club obviously featured recently on the European Tour. Have you played the course in its current form? Obviously did a lot of work on it.
Not in its current form. I played it years ago in an Italian Open in the 90s in its old form. So yeah, I didn't go this year. I'll probably try and get there next year to have a look what it's like. I believe it's a nice golf course. The guys seem to enjoy it. A little bit hilly in places, but they're going to improve it over the next couple of years. The infrastructure and everything, and bring it up to the level required for a Ryder Cup, I'm sure.
Nice. Yeah, well, I was lucky to play it the week before the Ryder Cup, and I had actually also played it a few years previously as well, and it's a completely different golf course now. So yeah, a couple more years on top of that, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you head back. It'd be good for fans, like you say, with the moundings and the hills and stuff, and the condition was ridiculous. We played it the week after the European Tour event, and so I was three-putting a lot, as you can probably guess.
You leave the tees in the condition you found them.
No driver divots. No.
Oh, there are no divots on this tee except for that one.
Oh, right. World's first.
I was hitting some. I was actually hitting some decent drives that day. So, and then looking even further down the line, you obviously go back to America after Italy, but then heading back to Ireland and Adair Manor, which I know is one of your favourite places for golf in the world. Talk us through what it's going to be like being back in Ireland for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, the Ryder Cup's only been there once before at the K Club, and the atmosphere was incredible. The Irish people really are into their sport, and especially their golf. Any Irish Open we play, the atmosphere is always very special. The Ryder Cup, they cranked it up a few notches, and it was incredible. I played with Darren, so I was right in the heat of all the emotion and passion. And Adair Manor, it's probably the best hotel I've ever stayed in the world. I've stayed in a lot of good ones, but I'd say that is the best hotel I've ever stayed in. The golf course is incredible. It's the best conditioned golf course I've ever seen in Europe. The day I played it was in, I think it was April time, start of the season. And you could have played a tour event, not just, a European tour event, but you could have played a World Golf Championship or something like that around it. It was immaculate.
So obviously definitely one for anyone looking to go to Ireland for golf over the next couple of years. So you mentioned how beautiful the hotel is at Adair Manor and how amazing the golf course is. If I were to ask you what your top three Irish golf courses, and we're talking Republic of Ireland, that might, you said Adair Manor is one of your favourites, places you've ever been now. So obviously the chasing pack just behind Adair Manor. If you could name 3 Irish golf courses that people should be keeping their eyes open for.
Oh, there's so many good golf courses. Lahinch, I really enjoyed. Very old, traditional, kind of quirky in places. Blind par 3. And I'm a massive fan of Portmarnock as well. I think Portmarnock's an incredible golf course. Inland, I got an affinity with the K Club. I've had great memories there. Won a couple of European Opens there. Been on the winning Ryder Cup side there. Nice hotel as well, on the banks of the River Liffey. So you asked me to pick out 3. I'd pick out those 4.
I was just thinking, would you ever like to see the Ryder Cup go back to a classic links course, or do you think the trend on which we're on at the moment, which is much more stadium, good for fans, is the right way to be going? Or because obviously they used to host the Ryder Cup and links courses fairly regularly back in the 70s and before that. So what would you think if the Ryder Cup did head back to that sort of golf course?
Yeah, I think it would be nice every now and again, to bring that, kind of old school traditional style of play that links golf brings. I think as long as the infrastructure is in place, it's a fairly easy place to get in and out of, and there's plenty of accommodation. Always helps to have a big hotel on site or very close by. There's no reason why it shouldn't be around a links golf course.
Yeah, and I won't put you under the gun and ask you directly if you're going to be captaining at 2023, because I know that you have some small hope of maybe playing again. So let's say hypothetically you were. Is there anything in the qualification process between the 2 teams that you might change if you were going to be captaining in 2 years' time? Because it struck me as 6 wildcards in comparison to 3, and
I think if I was going to be captain, which I'm not saying I am going to be, because I enjoy playing too much. I still think I've got a lot of playing to do, whether it's on the next Ryder Cup team or just playing in general, and dedicating myself 100% to that. I think if I was going to be Ryder Cup captain, I would go 4, 4, and 4, 4 off the European points, 4 off the world points, and 4 picks. I think 3 isn't quite enough, and it gives you more options. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll let you go, because obviously I was going to wrap up with what's on the cards for you for the rest of the year, but you've already let us know that. So just before we do go, we sent out a tweet earlier asking if any of the Your Golf Travel followers wanted to ask you a question. I picked one out of the hat. So Kevin Hooper would like to know a bit more about the golden putters that Ping send you guys, and he wants to know how many gold putters do you have, and which one means the most to you?
Well, I'm sat in my kitchen and I can see about 40 from here. Two Ryder Cup golf bags, and there must be 20, maybe even 25 in each bag. So maybe there's 50. They're all very special. I look at them and I look at what they say on the face, because they engrave which one was won where, which is the replica for certain tournaments, and they're all very special. They all bring back a memory. So that's the nice thing about those. I was looking at one the other day, and it's the Australian Open in 1997 at Metropolitan, where I beat Greg Norman in the playoff. That's obviously very special. And there's another couple in there. One when I won the Nedbank recently down in Sun City with Helen caddying for me. That was obviously very special. So yeah, they all mean a lot, and they're a nice way of jogging your memory and bringing back thoughts of victories.
Excellent. So thank you very much for that. And Kevin Hooper, there's your answer. Cool. I'll wrap up here. I'll let you go, and good luck in the next few weeks in tournaments in the States. I know lots of us at Your Golf Travel will be watching on the TV, and then I guess just no more golf until Christmas, or no more pro golf anyway. Is that right?
No, probably not. I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to playing in the cold weather now. I've chased the sun around for the best part of the last 28 years, following the sun, playing tournament golf in the career, and it's just not quite the same when you're wearing 4 or 5 layers and pulling on winter mitts. But I'll play the odd game of golf up at Close House, or wherever I happen to be with friends. I'll probably play with my son, and keep my eye on a little bit. But it's nice this time of year to just have a break, and put the clubs away and just recharge your batteries, and think about other things. And then when the new year comes around, start thinking about golf again and your golf swing.